Today's video is brought to you by ablmerch.com. You're able to get all the hats I wear in the videos, plus a large selection of other hats, t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, and more through the link in the description box below. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this nut job over there in Los Angeles who tried to ram the USNS Mercy, the hospital ship, with a train. I'm talking about like a choo-choo train. You understand what I'm saying? Not really sure how he was going to do that because there were not tracks leading straight to the train, but we'll get to that in a moment. First, let's go ahead and roll the news clip from Los Angeles. In this clip, you'll see the size of the ship, which is massive. This is not a boat. This is a ship the size of a city, basically. You'll hear from the guy indirectly why he did what he did. After we get done with that, I'll talk about all of what was said and revealed in the video. I'll give you my 2 cents, my analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Late into the evening, the train still sits here where it came to rest, a couple of football fields away from the Mercy hospital ship. Now, federal prosecutors allege that the train engineer, Eduardo Moreno, admitted to police that he intentionally derailed and crashed it near the Mercy.
What the hell?
Video taken moments after the train left the tracks, slicing through pavement, several barriers and fences near the Mercy hospital ship docked in San Pedro.
I look over to my left and there's a huge cloud of dust underneath the bridge, and all of a sudden this train just starts pushing through the fence, and I'm like, well, there's no tracks there. What's it doing there?
The train engineer Eduardo Moreno was arrested shortly after. Federal prosecutors allege in his first interview with LA Port Police, Moreno acknowledged that he did it, saying that he was suspicious of the Mercy and believing it had an alternate purpose related to COVID-19 or a government takeover.
Conspiracy theories, I don't know what is going on in his head, but the Mercy doesn't even have any COVID-19 patients.
The Mercy arrived last week to accept non-COVID-19 patients to provide relief to area hospitals that are treating those with the virus. The ship's commanding officer, Captain John Rotruck, says the crash did not harm the Mercy or its mission. He says so far, 14 patients have been treated on board. 3 have already been discharged. Back here at the train, prosecutors allege that the defendant Moreno told police that he acted alone and he had not pre-planned the attempted attack.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, I'm not really sure where to begin. First of all, sir, what are you thinking about? You think you're going to be able to drive a train, like a whole train, right? An Amtrak train off of the tracks and hit a ship? Like I said, you got to have train tracks. You can't just drive that thing on the straight ground. That's not really how that works. And then you have all kind of barriers. This man tried to go through a concrete barrier, a chain link fence, another chain link fence, concrete barrier, parking lot, gravel, all of that, and was not successful. He got within about 200 yards of the ship. Luckily, nobody got hurt. I don't even think the guy that was driving the train got hurt. If he got hurt, I wouldn't be crying tears for him, because you got to be a few trees short of a forest, a few fries short of a Happy Meal to do something like that. But I digress. The whole point is that this guy tried to actually drive his train into the ship. Now, you saw in the video why he did what he did, talking about, well, I don't really trust what's going on. I'm kind of suspicious. So because you're suspicious, you're going to try to drive a train into a ship? Like, what is that going to actually accomplish? I'm not really seeing the logic. I think the guy been in the house a little bit too much. You're watching too many conspiracy videos and you're getting the wrong idea in your head. And I don't think that in any of the videos you saw about the virus and other things, I don't think any of them said, hey, you know what a great idea would be? Drive your train off the tracks and try to hit the ship. Maybe you have drugs going on. It could be a combination of being at home too much, being paranoid, letting your mind go away from you, and drugs combined. Some are going to say terrorism. Is he here legally? I don't really know anything about that. I think that's less of the issue. He could be here legally, might not be. I don't think terrorism is the issue. I think the guy's just a few trees short of a forest and got a few screws loose. Their gears ain't really grinding all the way to the top to get to the full RPM. You understand what I'm saying? But I'll move on. Now, the ship wasn't even for coronavirus patients. Okay, nobody was on there that was suffering from the Chinese virus. The ship was to provide relief to local area hospitals that had been overrun with the virus. They were there to have non-virus patients or non-Chinese virus patients. All right. So it wasn't even about the virus at all. They weren't just trying to, like, maybe in his mind, they were trying to put people that had the virus on there and, you know, send them somewhere else, or put healthy individuals on there, give them the virus, do some kind of testing. I'm not really sure what he was thinking about, but the ship wasn't even for that purpose. The ship was to provide relief to local area hospitals. That's what it was for. But this just goes to show you that you got some people out here that are being totally scared by the media. I mean, when you see the virus news every single day, every hour on the hour, you know, talking about conspiracy videos, some of the worst conspiracy videos out there come from the mainstream media itself. Talking about, oh, it's going to be 200,000 people that die. That comes from the administration. So I can't even really blame the media. I can't blame them, but at the same time, I can't. Because when Fauci comes out and says between 100,000 and 200,000 could die as a result of the virus, then in my mind, I'm thinking that's crazy to say, because even though you said could, may not, probably won't, long shot, worst case scenario, even though you said that, all people are going to hear is the highest number. And then the media aren't going to make it any better. They're not going to try to jump through hoops to clarify what you meant. They're going to say, oh, we said up to 200,000 could die, even though we're doing all the social distancing and whatnot. You know, it's crazy. You're seeing different messages being sent by the administration, and then the media will come out and just pounce on the worst message, ignoring all of what they said, which could be positive. The media, they're in on it, but Fauci, people like that, aren't really making it any better. Now, Trump's kind of in the weird situation because I've seen him go on TV quite a bit, and what I see from him is what many of us are feeling. You just had the unemployment numbers come out for the week, just 1 week, not total from the whole entirety of the virus crisis. Just for the week ending March 28th, you had 6.648. So 6,648,000 people that have filed for unemployment. And that's just those that were successful in filing for unemployment. Some were not successful. You were on hold for hours and hours trying to get through because everybody's trying to get through the same as you are. And some people are like myself. You're self-employed. You're doing 1099 stuff. You're not really guaranteed. You're not employed by a person. You're a contractor out there just getting jobs, freelancing, whatever you want to call it. If that's you, then you're probably not eligible for unemployment. So I'm thinking you probably get 10, 15 million that went unemployed last week, but are not necessarily all counted in the official number. The official number is just crazy high. The estimates were like between 3 to 4 million, but you got 6.6, almost 6.7 million. And it's not going to go down because, you know, these restaurants aren't opening anytime soon. I was at a restaurant a couple of days ago, like at the end of the month, I think March 31st, whatever that was. And there was notice on the door that says, hey, we're going to be closed in 2 weeks coming up. So those people that are working right there in that restaurant, when I was there a couple of days ago, are not going to be there today. And they won't be there until at least Easter. So what are you going to do in that 2 week period of time to be able to make money? The unemployment numbers will rise. The media, their rhetoric will continue to be the same. So you're going to see more people just kind of descend into hysteria because this is pretty much all that they have. They don't have jobs. They are constantly watching the news. This is what's going to happen. Not to totally blame the media for what this guy did, but at a certain point, we got to put that in there. We got to take that into account when we're looking at things like this that happen. So as I close, I want to say this. Do not despair. Do not let the media drive you to hysteria. Don't let them drive you insane. Continue to do things that make sense. And the thing that does not make sense is driving your choo-choo train off the tracks, trying to hit a hospital boat. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that the guy that was trying to hit the hospital boat had the right idea in mind? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or do you think that he was out of his mind and he did not have a good idea up there because there was no mind to really process information? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. I'm thinking it was a combination of paranoia, probably drugs, and just a unique situation. I mean, when the last time we seen a thing like this to happen where the government says you can't go to work because of a virus that's going on? I mean, I've not really seen that ever in my lifetime. And I hope that this thing comes to an end and does not repeat itself ever, because the devastation economically is a thing that it really can't even be measured. Some are going to say, well, the virus has raised, people are dying. I understand, but people die every day from everything else and nobody really cares. How many deaths has the flu claimed in this season? How many deaths per day have they had versus this Chinese virus? Like, let's put it into perspective and let's look at the unemployment numbers. Let's look at people losing their mind and take that into consideration as well. Let's not focus on one thing trying to solve it where we're ignoring the other things that we got to solve as well. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.